Hi, welcome. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's edition of Let's Talk with ITR Polygraph. So how we're going to do Let's Talk is a little bit different, okay? So we've been working out the kinks. It's a very new thing, especially with the whole issue of isolation, social distancing, and we cannot work, we cannot perform the polygraph. So what we have created during this time, so it's a little bit still in the works of getting the kinks out, okay? But the truth of the matter is, this is a collaborative effort with Ken and I both doing this. However, he's not always comfortable being on camera, and that's okay. I need him to help with the creativeness of this. What are we going to talk about? What topics do we want to share? And he is doing all the technical part. I don't know how to do all these different things with the technology and putting it out there. So I really appreciate his effort with that. And he appreciates me being able to just come in front of the camera and be real and talk. And so I thank you for understanding how we're going to try and do things, though this is different than my own personal blog that is called How I Choose to Live My Life. That is separate. This is instead of us being able to help our clients resolve their issues, very personal issues, all the time using a polygraph. So we can't do that. Now, all this week, you know, not a surprise, what the topic is this week is people's relationships. This week, what we had the most calls for, and I'm not sure how people think we can do a polygraph, but I think they're just desperate, right? They're calling and just, they need some help. So they said, if I can't help them with the polygraph, what can I help them with? And I said, well, then maybe what we want to do with this series, or even if we call, because we always do have an interview phase as well with our clients. If somebody comes to our office for infidelity issues, they don't trust their partner, for whatever reasons, they come to our office and we are able to help with that. But we have an interview phase where we talk to both people. What's his side? What's her side? What is going on in that relationship? And we help them to create the questions and deal with that topic. But now we're really only able to do the interview phase, able to talk. So what we offered our clients this week in advice was something that both Ken and I have taken this same advice. And in fact, I just want to show you, this is a picture frame that has always hung on our wall. And whether it was at our office or in our home, now it's in our home. This is something that I have read and I've tried to do with our marriage on a regular basis. Are we perfect? No. 30 years of marriage takes some time, especially now we're all confined. So I'm just going to read you these and then I'm going to type them out so that they're on there. But it's called the 12 Golden Rules for a Happy Marriage. Number 1, never both be angry at once. That's huge. And it's hard to learn. So these are, if you haven't practiced any of these, have never heard of any of these things, or just need something else to help with your relationship at this time, this is what this is for. So number 1, never both be angry at once. Never yell at each other unless the house is on fire. Okay, so let's be real. Sometimes we do yell. I yell, Ken can yell. The issue is, let's not. Let's work on not doing that. So never yell at each other unless the house is on fire, and really try not to do that right now because we're stuck in the house. The children are all around and everybody hears it and it's not good. And so everybody's emotions are sky high right now. Number 3, yield to the wishes of the other as an exercise in self-discipline if you can't think of any other better reason, is what it says. Yield to the wishes of the other as an exercise in self-discipline. That's something that our world does not teach us to do. This is a tough one, and it's something that I try to do a lot. Number 4, if you have a choice between making yourself or your mate look good, choose your mate. Okay? We're very good at maybe putting down our mate and saying what we don't like or anything or something, but we need to raise up our mate. Whichever. Raise up your husband, raise up your wife, raise up your mate over yourself. Number 5, if you feel you must criticize, do so lovingly. Right? It's pretty self-explanatory. Try to talk to somebody in a kind and gentle way. Maybe even schedule a time that you want to talk about things. That's often what we advise our clients to do, is to schedule a time to be able to talk, so that one person doesn't just come home and go, yeah, I want to talk about this, but that's not what you know. You've been making dinner all day. Or maybe your husband's been at work all day and you're doing something, and he comes home and it's like, no, I just want to talk about that. You're going to raise that argument from 0 to 1,000. So maybe take time to plan a time that you're able to talk properly with your partner about what's going on. And in this time, we have those times because we're at home. So now not everybody is too busy. Number 6, never bring up a past mistake. That's hard. So many people do, right? Well, you did this. Well, you did this. Well, you did this. Well, I did this. Never bring up a past mistake. This is how to have a happy marriage. You can choose to bring it up, and you can choose to do these things, and maybe your marriage is going to be happy or not happy. So I'm just giving you some examples of what Ken and I have tried, and maybe they can help you. Number 7, neglect the whole world rather than each other. Neglect the whole world rather than each other. So let me just put this out there, that if we're home right now, how much time are you spending with your partner? Are you on the phone? Are we on social media? Are we watching Netflix? What are we doing with our time? Are we using our time to be with our partner? Or are we so into everything else that's going on in the world right now? And of course we are. It's incredibly important. However, we are also given this gift of time at home with our families. And how are we going to use that time? So neglect the whole world rather than each other. You are each other's best friend. You have each other. This is a gift to have this time. Number 8, never let the day end without saying at least one complimentary thing to your spouse. Do we do that? Do we compliment our spouse, how they looked, nice meal, what they did today? Because again, we're in close quarters, maybe we're bickering. You left this out and left this out, and why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? What are we saying that is a nice complimentary thing to say to your spouse? At least one in a day, okay? Number 9, never meet without an affectionate greeting. So when we're in the house, do we just kind of pass by each other? Or do we stop and we hug each other and we kiss each other and we hold each other's hands, or anything else like that? So what is it that we do? And so it's very important that we meet and we greet each other affectionately. That is how, and maybe somebody was arguing before, and now it's hard. But don't be prickly. It's hard to hug a porcupine, okay? Don't be prickly. Number 10, when you have made a mistake, talk it out and ask for forgiveness. That's so important, that you have to be able to trust your partner to be able to say, you know what, I made a mistake. I made a mistake, I screwed up. Please forgive me, this is what I did. And I'm begging you today that during this time, if you're having a hard time with your marriage, if there's secrets going on, if there's addictions going on, if there's things that should not be going on because it's secretive and you're keeping it from your partner, please don't think that your partner doesn't know what's going on. Your partner does know what's going on. They can feel that there's something not quite right. Maybe use this time to confess and to talk and to make things right. Now's the time to really take a look at that. So, number 11, remember, it takes two to make an argument. The one who is wrong is the one who will be doing most of the talking. So just because you talk doesn't mean that you're right. It means that you would sooner be right than happy. That's how I see that. So let's hear one another in a proper manner, and remember that it takes two to make an argument. Okay? Number 12, and it's the best one really. Never go to bed mad. Because we sure do. But what that does is it just festers overnight, and it helps a root of bitterness grow up in your relationship, and you will wake up again angry at your spouse. So I ask that you try to humble yourself with your partner, say you're sorry, admit when is wrong, try and watch our tongue, self-control. And I want to give you this exercise. This exercise was given to Ken and I years ago, and it is something that goes like this. Take a simple piece of paper, okay, simple piece of paper. You and your partner are going to take a piece of paper, and you don't tell your partner what to write. It's your own list. So it's this. I'm going to write 5 things that I absolutely love about my partner. We can always say 5 things that we don't like about our partner, but this is an exercise to say 5 things that you love about your partner. The other one is, you're going to make, the other list is 5 things that you would change about yourself. Because of course we want our partner to change. We can list 5 things that we want our partner to change, but that's not this exercise. What this exercise is trying to do is get you and your partner talking again and realizing really what you love about your partner. So the way this goes is, you make your list, he makes his list, and then once those lists are made, then you both sit face to face. When was the last time you sat face to face and looked each other in the eye and talked to each other? So, face to face. And because I think we women need to be soft and gentle sometimes, that maybe we can go first and we can explain to our husband what we love about them and some things that we would change about ourselves. And then role reversal. He will do the same. And give that some time to talk. Maybe you could hold hands, maybe you could hug or anything like that. But I really want to leave that with you today, that this is something tangible that you can start to do today. And I really thank you very much for tuning in to this week's episode of Let's Talk. And I look forward to next Friday with a new topic. So thank you, and I hope you and your spouse have a wonderful time, or your partner, whichever. Have a great day.